Your knowledge of ratios is going to be tested on the ACT in several different types of problems, whether they are algebraic problems, geometry problems, or statistical problems. Knowing how to use ratios is going to be crucial for your success. So what is a ratio? A ratio is a quantitative comparative relationship between two or more values. A lot of the times what makes ratios confusing is that people try to think of them as percents. They are not percents. So to explain this further, let's actually bring the concept of ratios to life through some word problems. The ratio of girls to boys in a particular math class is 3 to 7. What percentage of students in class are girls? The most common mistake on this type of question is to take 3 and divide it by 7 and then multiply by 100 to get the percentage. That would be incorrect because what we have here is a ratio of 3 girls and 7 boys. That means that if we had a class of 3 girls, then there would be 7 boys, which means there are 10 total students. Now we have to take the 3 girls over the total number of students, so that would be 3 out of 10, or 30%. Okay, on to the next problem. Here is more of a geometry problem. The ratio of the lengths of line segments AB, BC, and AC in the triangle below is 3 to 4 to 5. If the length of AB is 4.5, what is the measure of angle B in degrees? So we know the ratio. We're going to label this 3, 4, and 5 is the ratio here. We actually have some extraneous information that we don't need, and that is the length of AB is 4.5. That is actually there to distract us, because if we recognize that if we have a 3, 4, 5 triangle, that it's going to be a right triangle, and they're asking us for the measure of angle B in degrees. So if we recognize that this is a 3, 4, 5 triangle, the measure of angle B is simply going to be 90 degrees. Here is another geometry problem. A line segment AB has a length of 5. Point C is collinear with AB. The length of AC is 7. If B lies between A and C, what is the ratio of the segment AB to BC? So let's draw this. We have AB, and we know that is 5. Then we have B lies between A and C is collinear, so that means C must be out here. And the length of AC is going to be 7. So from here to here, we have 7. That must mean that the length of BC is going to be 2. So the ratio of segment AB to BC is going to be 5 to 2. The most common mistake on this problem is to say that the ratio is 5 to 7, which is the ratio of AB to AC. It's asking for AB to BC, in which case we need to make sure that we use that proper ratio, which is 5 to 2. All right, last question here. The sum of the ages of a mother and son is 54. 3 years ago, the ratio of their ages was 3 to 1. How old is the mother now? All right, so let's do this. Let's figure out the sum of the ages of the mother and son 3 years ago. So 3 years ago, if we subtract 3 years from the mother's age and 3 years from the son's age, we subtract 6 total years. So we have 3 years ago, the sum of ages was 54 minus 6, or 48. Now we also know that 3 years ago the ratio of their ages was 3 to 1. That means that the mother accounted for 3/4 of the total age. Mother was 3/4 of total sum of ages. So that means 3 years ago, she was 36, because 3/4 of 48 is 36. The question asks, how old is the mother now? So if we add that up, we add the 3 to that 36, the mother is going to be 39.